Blog Talk Radio.
Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Damn a needle! Dance of a needle! Man crush a needle! Man assassinator! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! A damn shot straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! You get down to straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! I will fly high! 5-star frog splash! You can't stop me! 5-star frog splash! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! It's all about the yin and the yang! The balance of power that's in! You can't stop the yin and the yang! The balance of power that's in! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! I will levitate! Flip, kick you in the yam! I will decimate! You can prepare for! Drop it down! The whole fucking show! 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 Oh my God!
That's a new sound clip. Joey Styles. You like that one, baby?
I do.
Yeah. All right, everybody. It is December 17th. It's a very special day for the Van Dams. Very special. My wife had been throwing up a lot. I thought maybe she was, what do they call that when you anorexic or something? But it turned out it had something to do with the chemotherapy treatment she was receiving. Just joking, baby. You did awesome. Today is the final day of Sonia's chemotherapy treatment. It has been, 12 treatments once every 2 weeks. It's about 6 months of being loaded up with poison for 48 hours at a time, every couple weeks, building that shit up inside of her, and now we're done. So, hell yeah. We are extremely happy. We were on the other side looking at this, baby, knowing that we had 6 months of this ahead of us. We didn't know how bad you were going to be broken down, and you know, every time she goes in, when she feels good, she goes in and submits herself to having this chemo put in her that makes her feel sick, and it's a voluntary thing. It's a crazy psychological thing to go through mentally, physically, and of course, it can be very draining, taxing on anybody going through it. And a lot of people do have to go through this, a hell of a lot more people than we ever realized. Sonia had some really bad abdominal pains, really bad. And we got them checked out. Doctor said, irritable bowel syndrome,
I'm young, so it was probably a hemorrhoid. Don't worry about it. If symptoms persist, come back, just don't worry about it. And symptoms persisted, and I went back, and that's when he's like, oh, you're young. It's irritable bowel syndrome. Just take some fiber pills. Don't worry about it. And then the pain just got more and more and more intense. And I knew I wasn't getting anywhere with that doctor, so I knew I had to find another doctor. And because I'm a new patient, it took like a month to get in. So I'm calling like every day, talking to the receptionist, like, can you get me in? Is there a cancellation? I really need to get in. She's finally like, look, if you're in this much pain, go to the emergency room. And this was about the time last year when we were getting ready to go to Portugal, and I told Rob, I said, honey, I don't feel right. I'm not leaving the country feeling like this. I just don't feel right. So between the Portugal trip coming up and finally this nurse or the receptionist, whoever she was, saying, go to the emergency room, we went. We went to the emergency room, and the doctor there said, oh, it's indigestion. Have some Zantac. Yeah, some Zantac. So, well, the good news is I did get to confront the ER doctor, and that felt really, really good. But, yeah, it turned out to be stage 3 colon cancer. I finally found a doctor that would give a 32-year-old woman a colonoscopy, and when he did, he saved my life.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we could not have been expecting that any less. We could not have been any further in the dark about the whole cancer situation. It's something that we thought happened to other people. We didn't pay that much attention to it. We didn't really have any way to relate to it. And, when we finally went in and got that colonoscopy, which the doctor wanted to avoid because of her age, and, wanted to give her an appointment for like months down the road because he had to get everyone else through and run them through for the tax their insurance before the end of the year, whatever. We really thought they were going to find something, maybe an ulcer, something that is, because it'd been like over a fucking year, and it went from Sonia waking up every single morning with these horrible stomach aches and cannabis being the cure that, subsided the symptoms, but of course wasn't able to fucking stop what was really going on, which was a monster growing inside of her.
6.6. My tumor turned out to be 6.6 centimeters in diameter, so that's a hell of a tumor.
Yep, and because it had been so long, it was staged as a stage 3 tumor, which there's a lot of information in that, which you may not know if you're not familiar with it, just like we didn't know at the time, but turns out what that means is that it's very much progressed. It's gone through the colon wall and started hitting the lymph nodes, and then they judge it by if there's 3 lymph nodes or less. Stage 3. If it gets more than that and you're stage 4, unfortunately, they're talking about how much time they expect for you to survive. It's really a nasty thing, and holy shit, now that it's such a big part of our life, I find that it's everywhere. I mean, where were these commercials that I see 24/7, all these specials, all these fundraisers for cancer? Where was all that? Was that here and we just didn't see it, or did that just all, come into the existence as we're going through this, like from the law of attraction? It's crazy. It's everywhere. And here's what I learned. Something you guys need to pay attention to. Here in America, apparently 1 out of every 2 men will get cancer in their lifetimes. That's pretty good odds. You know what I mean? 1 out of 3 women will get cancer. That is fucking ridiculous. That's either every one of us or someone very close to us. Brother, mother, father, cousin, friend, whatever. And, of course, I talk to a ton of people now that can relate and that tell me that they're going through it, too. They've been touched by it. They're experiencing it. And some stories are good, surviving stories, like Sonia. She got the surgery and removed the cancerous tumor. So she went into this chemotherapy cancer-free. and took the therapy treatments as the only thing they offered to lower the chances. Because it was stage 3, they said there's a 50-50 chance it's going to return. If you do this 6 months of chemotherapy, it lowers the chances of it returning by another, I think it was 40%, another 30 to 40%. Okay, so basically, you know, there's a chance it'll come back. But being a guy, I guess I got a 50% fucking chance I'm going to get it anyway, you know. And thing is, this is a success story. Sonya kicked its ass. She survived it. A lot of people are going to have stories that aren't so happy, but we need to be aware. We need to hear this. We need to know what's out there. The call list on the switchboard is just stacked. Although my call screening info isn't working right now, I'll try and fix that when I get into these calls. But I got so many calls, and I want to hear from so many people that I'm going to go to some calls and talk about that. And again, you know, some of the stories may not be that happy. You know, if it's therapeutic for you to share it, you know, and talk about it, fuck yeah, we want to know. It's also going to be therapeutic for everyone to know and to raise the awareness. It's out there. And, you know, we also, tonight, want to talk about other surviving stories. You know, if you survived a plane crash, call in and tell us about it.
I survived a jet ski accident.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And a lot of people know about that one. Yes. You know what I think, baby? I think that every day that we miss so many situations, sometimes good opportunities, like meeting people that maybe we knew like 20 years ago and haven't seen, whatever, but every decision we make, like you turn down this road instead of that road, you know, or you leave the house 5 minutes later because you forgot your keys or whatever, you know, or you miss this flight and you end up taking another one. I always wonder, are there like parallel universes where where some other fate gets carried on based on like other decisions at those turning points?
That's like one of my favorite movies called Sliding Doors. Do you remember that, where Gwyneth Paltrow has the parallel universe?
Yes, I do.
I often wonder about that.
Yeah, and I wonder like how many times, you know, do we just narrowly, and I know you're going to say riding with me that we narrowly escape death every time we leave the house.
Well, yeah.
All right, well, look at all these calls. And I don't know who any of them are because my call screening isn't working, but she tells me to hit the F5, and I'm going to try that F5. Did that do anything? No. So I'm going to chance it, and I'm going to go to this.
Okay, wait. RVD, are you there?
Yeah, okay, Nikki, you going to help me out?
Hi. Yes, you know I will. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you can't see anything, scroll all the way down to number 12. You see number 12? Area
yes,
code
I
516.
do.
Okay, grab that one.
Somebody take that call, is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am.
Well,
and try to hit F5 again, but get 12. It'll be good.
It'll be good, and I think I recognize that number as Big Boss Brett. What up, Brett? Speak. All right, 516. Hello? I don't know who the hell you are, but there you are. I don't have my call screening info, but yeah, dude, you're on the air.
Oh,
you're caller 12 officially right now until we get a name.
This is Jesse. Hello?
Jesse. Hey,
yeah.
I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
What's up, man? First of all, I'm a big fan. I used to go down to the Queens Elk Lodge when you were wrestling with ECW.
Right on. ECW,
exactly. Well, I just wanted to say I lost an uncle to tumor in 2006, and it was in Winthrop Hospital in Mineola. He towards the ending stages, it was just horrible. He started seeing things. He started seeing cats, and it just started eating at his brain badly. And I never seen anything worse in my life. And I just wanted to share that. And
what kind of cancer did he have, Jesse?
He had a tumor, and it just it spread. They caught it too late, and by the time they caught it, it came to that point where the stage 4, when it was just a matter of time to live.
Yeah, bro, that's what happens a whole lot. Unfortunately, like more and more I hear stories about that, and especially it seems like when people are older. But like I said, you know, I mean, Sonya was 32 when she got diagnosed, and if we would have waited and not gotten that colonoscopy, it would have progressed to stage 4. You know, she blew all the statistics out of the water when they say, well, don't worry about it until you're like 50. She didn't eat red meat, you know, and she was 100 pounds. She doesn't, she doesn't fit into any of the statistics. That's why we want everyone to know you can't wait. I mean, when people would tell us, when she was complaining about the stomach aches, some of my friends, would say, oh, you got to get that checked out. And I was like, well, yeah, we're on top of it. We're trying to figure out. But, dude, I mean, there's a lot of guilt in thinking about, what if 6 months ago, 12 months ago, what if we would have known, somebody would have warned us from their experiences, and we would have taken the initiative to get that colonoscopy. Who knows, how much better our situation could be. How old was your uncle, Jesse?
Well, he was the older mark. He was 60.
Yeah, right on. That's really pretty young to be dying, though. Either way.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he reached the mark to be diagnosed with it. But also another thing I wanted to say, I think that I'm not that sure about it, but to die in a hospital bed where you don't know nobody and you know you're gonna go, for me, I think it would have been better if they would have sent him home and he could have died with his family. I mean.
Well, wow, that's a really tough call, and I mean, I have to think that would be circumstantial, depending on the situation. I mean, maybe they can take better care of him, maybe get a few more days out of him in the hospital, and I don't know, but I mean, that's just my response to what you said there, because if I was in that situation, and might, choke my way out at home, or I might be able to get some more time. It's a tough one, dude, because I mean, life is a magical essence. It's something we can't recreate, and basically, I kind of feel like we got to get what we can out of it. When I hear people tell me, oh, if I wasn't alive, I wouldn't have to worry about this anymore, that doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're saying that, then you got to look at the opposite of it. If you're saying that you wouldn't have to worry anymore, then you must be saying that, then you're also saying that then you'd be able to enjoy it and rest, and who knows, who knows, but yeah, I hate to hear that story, and sorry that you had to see him out like that, because from what I understand, that can be very, very rough, watching somebody go through this, suffering like that. And of course, it was no walk in the park for me watching Sonya. I mean, last night, it was a rough night last night with her sick all night and early in the morning throwing up, and it's been like 6 months of that, but I know that we were very fortunate. Sonya kept all her hair. She looks great, and instead of losing weight, she actually even put on some weight. She was smoking the cannabis, and it kept her appetite up. It kept her comfortable, and so I appreciate you sharing your experience with us.
And by far, it was the best anti-nausea drug for me personally. The anti-nausea drugs that they gave me headaches, and it just really, when you have a borderline migraine for 2 days, is it really worth taking the anti-nausea drug? It's kind of a toss-up when the side effects are almost worse than what they're trying to prevent. But for me, the cannabis works great because I roll excellent joints. And
yes, you do, baby.
And it just worked. But early detection is key. One thing that you said about your uncle is they didn't catch it in time, and
they caught it. They caught it when it had already spread to the brain, and pretty much what they told them was, it's over from, and it's just a matter of time. And I mean, you don't even know which one was harder. It was losing him or seeing him die, because I mean, each day it was just, he just got worse physically, he just got worse mentally, and in a way, you just kind of not hope that he died, but if the pain ended for him, it would have been, either he was going to get better or he was going to die, but you didn't like seeing him in the stage that he was at. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we hear you, and we understand exactly what you're saying, so sorry you had to go through that, silver lining on that is that hopefully we can all learn from it, hopefully prevent someone in the future from going through that. Hopefully someone listening will hear and say, fuck, this is serious, maybe I should go get that thing checked out. Check out. Everybody. Yeah, appreciate you calling in, Jesse.
Thanks, Better than Shawn Michaels, RVD. Better than Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. HBK will probably back you up on that one. So we got a bunch of calls here, baby. Let's try Matt from El Paso. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Rob. How's it going, man?
Dude, everything's awesome. Everything's awesome here. We're very happy today. Sonia finished her chemotherapy treatment, so all positive energy now. We're just waiting for all that toxin to work its way out of her body. No reason to not be smiling. How about you?
Right. I'm all right. I'm doing all right down here. I'm glad to hear Sonia's doing good. Hopefully she recovers well and it never comes back.
Indeed.
And,
that's what we're hoping for, man. Appreciate that. We're all on the same page there for sure. So have you got any experience with cancer, or maybe you got a survivor story for us?
Actually, I had an uncle pass away from a brain tumor on his brainstem, and he was only about maybe 37 years old.
Wow, dude, that's my age today. Tomorrow I'll be 38, hopefully. But as T mentions right there in the chat room, thanks T. Dude, that's another one of those hard stories as well. So it was something where when they found it, it was already progressed.
Yeah, they actually found a very small tumor right on his brainstem, and within maybe about 2 years, it grew dramatically. And the real shitty thing about it is they kind of gave us, I don't really want to say a false hope, but they told us it had went away, and within a couple of months after that, it just took him.
Yeah, bro, I'll tell you what, man, cancer is a motherfucker. It is. It's serious. It kills so many people and makes so many other people sick, and it's amazing how some people can, like us until recently, we can go our lives and not realize that it's like all around us. You know, now it's hard for me to find anybody that's as in the dark about it as we were. Most everyone we talk to says, "Oh yeah, my uncle, my dad, my this, that." So yeah, a brain tumor has to be, you know, one that has to be one of the I don't know if it's one of the worst ones, but I would imagine, yeah. I mean, your fucking brain pretty much, that's your motor, that's your computer that runs your whole operation.
Yeah, and it was extremely hard to see him towards the end of his life.
Did he have surgery to try to remove the tumor from his brain?
No, they were actually really nervous about trying to remove it, so they just gave him a bunch of chemo.
Right. Wow. Well, dude, thanks for sharing your story with us. Again, hopefully somebody out there can benefit from it.
Hopefully.
So appreciate you listening, dude, and sharing. Sonia, holy shit, we're done, baby.
I know, it's very surreal.
It's like just hours ago we walked out of the hospital for the last time. No longer will you have to carry around that little chemo pack, and no longer will you have to lay on the couch for days at a time trying not to throw up because you're pumping that toxic shit into your body, But thank God for modern medicine, Yeah. For real. I mean, is popular, I don't know if popular is the right word, but, as much as cancer is out there, if we didn't have the advanced technology to fight it, it would be taking a lot more people and making a lot more people a hell of a lot more uncomfortable while they're going through it. Speaking of which, it makes me wonder, like I've always used to wonder before this came into my life, do you think that there is a cure out there, baby? I mean, to know that we're going through this and people listening, have lost and are losing loved ones, it's something that you can't just, talk about lightly. It's a very serious subject to think that we could be getting fucked over because they're holding back a cure because of the business and profit that they can have from holding back on that. I mean, it's a serious thing. It's a hurtful thing to even consider, but fuck.
I know. I've seen Sicko, that's a great documentary, and it's all about money, it's all about business, and it does make you wonder. One thing about City of Hope, which is the hospital that I go to, they're the only ones in LA, because we've got UCLA and USC here, cancer hospitals as well, but they're the only ones actively looking for a cure. Everyone else is looking for more drugs and what's the next drug we can get to do this or to stop that. But City of Hope is actually actively looking for a cure, and that's what sets them apart. Now, for me personally, I have to believe that the research, the data that they're going to get from my cancer and from all my blood work and all that kind of stuff, I have to believe that that's going to go to help people 10 years from now go through this, because it makes it a little easier to go through, knowing that hopefully I'll help somebody else.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's the first thing that came out of your mouth, baby, the very day when our jaws hit the fucking floor because the doctor said cancer. Right away you were like, we have to let people know, because we were so shocked. Like, this can happen to us? No shit. Like, we have to get the word out there. And we didn't realize the word is out there, but it's not out there enough, or else we would have heard the word before and been more prepared, you know. So we're helping get the word out now. People calling in are helping us get the word out there, too, and I appreciate that. We're going to go to Michael from California sharing his cancer survivor experience, which hopefully will be a good, happy story, because I know we're happy. You know, it's awesome being on the other side saying, fuck yeah, we kicked its ass. We don't want it ever coming back in again. You know, when it comes to the cures and talking about that, what the fuck are we staying away from stem cell research for? Because stem cell research allows us to basically fix anything wrong with the body. A stem cell is a single cell that can become anything. It can become anything. You can grow a new fucking limb like Doc Connor's lizard from Spider-Man. Or you can grow, but I mean, even organs, you know, we can grow new lungs and hearts, and we can replace cancerous organs with fresh ones. Maybe it still has the same DNA, which is maybe what causes it to flare up anyway. I don't know, but we need to look into that. And what's bullshit is I think a lot of the reason we don't is ignorance. It's ignorance. People think that stem cell research, you have to kill a fucking baby. That's so obscene. It's so ridiculous. It's so ignorant. It's so far from the truth. You don't hurt any fetus. And this isn't an abortion issue. I'm not telling you that it's not alive yet or anything like that. I'm telling you the baby's fine. There's other places to get the fucking stem cell. And we know this. And I want everyone else to know this, too. What's up, Michael from California?
Hello, Rob and Sonia. I just want to say congratulations to both of you, because you're both going through this. Sonia's going through it physically, and Rob's going through it emotionally. But congratulations to both of you.
Well, we appreciate that, man. We kind of feel like we crossed the finish line, and like Sonia said, it's surreal. We walked out of the hospital today, and we thought we should have, like, balloons and confetti dropping on us or something. I mean, it just felt, you know, like, is it final? Is it real? You know, did this really happen? And we're going to very much enjoy being accustomed to not making that trip every 2 weeks as we look to living our lives in the near future, baby. Yeah, so Michael, you got a story as well to share.
Well, actually, I'm a cancer survivor.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. When I came down with melanoma, which is the deadly form of skin cancer. It started out as a mole. I'd been having some problems with my back, and I just kept ignoring it for like 11 months, 12 months. So finally I went to the doctor, and he said, let me take that and send it out for a biopsy. He called me about a day and a half later saying it was cancer. We needed to do some surgery. As it turned out, it was what was called a Clark level 3. It was just getting ready to go into the muscle in my back. When they performed what was called a wide local excision. And they had to go all the way down, almost all the way to my muscle, and take out all the surrounding tissue. When I got tuned back into the world the next day, they told me if I'd waited another month or two at the most, that all they could have done was sew me up, maybe give me 6 weeks to live, because it would have gotten into the muscle and spread through my body like wildfire.
Wow, Michael. Now, that makes you rethink life when you have a doctor telling you that basically you were knocking at death's door and you just left before it opened, huh?
Exactly. And that's why, I totally agree with you and Sonia. about anybody. If they're having any type of problems that can't be, they can't be ignored, go find out. What's the most it's going to do? Cost you a doctor visit? It could save your life if you go early enough. Like I said, I was lucky. I almost didn't go early enough. But even though after I had the surgery, they told me that I had 5 years tops to live. And
how long ago was that, Michael?
Well, I told the doctors, you watch me. And in October, I celebrated 28 years.
Holy cow. That is awesome.
This happened in 1980 when I was just 29 years old.
Wow. Dude,
and,
congrats to you. And now, let me ask you a question that goes through my mind right now, because, as you know, we're just at the finish line ourselves, and we have different situations than you did. But what is that, when you say you're free, what exactly does that mean? As far as, like, do you still have to go back in for, like, regular testing to make sure it doesn't return?
The type of cancer that melanoma is, it can metastasize in different parts of the body without much notice. So whenever I feel a lump, like in my chest or in my abdomen, they have to go in and remove it and send it out for biopsies. But so far, other than one occasion, I was told that everything is okay. They all came back benign, except for they found a spot on my neck and a spot on my side 3 months after I had my initial surgery. So they went in and took the one out of my side. They said the one in the side and the one on the neck is probably the same. So they kept me on the table while they rushed out the sample from my side for a biopsy. And if it came back negative, then they weren't even to bother with the other one, because it would probably be negative too. And so I just basically, they've been just little fatty tumors. And I've been so fortunate. I did have one come back positive, but it was, yes, it was positive, but it was a false positive. They took a second test, to be sure, and that was possibly for colon cancer. So
yeah, they tell you, okay, you got this percentage of odds that it might return, and then there's this chance that it might spread into this part or whatever. And I kind of live with the theory, and this is kind of how I live my life anyway. You never know when you're going to step off the curb and get hit by a bus,
Yep.
So I don't live in fear, but I also have what I call the Superman syndrome, which is where everyone around me gets hurt, but not me. And that's been like an ongoing joke since I was a little kid, because I am an action hero. I'm Rob Van Dam. But
well, you have your action figure.
Exactly.
RVD motherfucker! RVD motherfucker! RVD motherfucker!
Okay.
You can say that again.
So, but now, my perspective obviously has changed, because, as I keep saying, no longer can we think this happens to other people. This happens to us. So now we got to take it seriously. If they say, hey, guess what? Cause Sonia has always warned me, because I'm a sun worshiper. She's always warned me I'm going to get skin cancer. I should wear
SPF 30 at least.
Yeah, which I don't. I don't wear anything, And
he lays in the tanning bed. It drives me crazy.
Yes, I get energy from the sun, baby.
Well, there's energy and there's cancer.
And the point that I'm going to make now is that, no longer can I just, feel like, hey, fuck that just happens to other people, because we've been touched by it now. But I'm not going to live in fear, you know what I mean? Because, like, still, if they give us percentages and odds, and the thing is, you compare that to other stuff too. There may be this much percentage that's going to return. There's a damn good chance, that I'm going to get shot just living here in LA if I go downtown tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There's odds of everything. So I don't want to live in fear, and I won't. And at the same time, we're grateful to be able to be alive every fucking day, and to be able to enjoy taking in every breath that we do, and that's how I feel. So I don't know how you look at it, Michael, but all these ways that they got to scare you and shit. And one thing I know is you're here with us today, brother.
Well, it's like I said, it's been 28 years back in October. So, you got to live your life to the fullest, but like the sign says, proceed with caution.
Right.
You have to, you have to be cautious. And like I said, if I hadn't finally broken down and went and had this checked out, I wouldn't be here now.
Well, I'm glad that you are here with us now, and I appreciate you sharing your story with us, Michael.
And it's been great talking with you, and you don't know how happy I am for both of you, because you've both been in my prayers, and you will continue to be in my prayers for as long as this is needed.
Well,
thank you very much.
Well, it's always needed, and we won't forget you either. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank
you.
Have
a great night, and please enjoy life. It's definitely a gift.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Right on. So that was Michael from out here in California, baby. So, we've always wondered if it's something in the water. We have, how many people in our neighborhood have had colon cancer? 4 that we know of.
That we know.
And we don't really know our neighbors. We know a small clique, like across the street, next door to them, and then like 2 doors down or something. That's all I know. And even in there's 4 that have had colon cancer that we know of recently. And we wonder, that's the thing, is we don't know what the fuck causes this. So they're doing all this genetic testing, Lasagna.
It's coming up. There's not really coming up anything with the genetic testing.
No, there's genetic markers they look for that tell you, like, okay, this happened because your DNA code's like this, and we look at your past relatives, and that's how we can see it.
All my markers are negative.
Yeah. We very well may never know, and that's so unsatisfying, to just go into life, that was weird. Hope that never comes back, and then never know what. So if it is the water, we continue to drink the water. You know what I mean?
I know.
That can be very frustrating too, but what can I say except for we're very, very fucking thankful to be alive.
I agree.
That's the best way to put it. Let's talk to Officer X. He's been waiting for a while. You know how impatient he gets, baby.
I do. What's up, Officer X?
Congratulations, girlfriend.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you
so
for
happy.
all the cards and all the support and all the lighting of the candles at church and all the prayers. Thank you, Officer X.
I knew this day was coming.
Yeah, I tell you, it was a long road, but at the same time, 6 months ago, we had some horrible pictures in our mind. We didn't know, what it was going to be like. We knew it was going to be very taxing and something that we weren't going to enjoy. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody if you don't have to do it. It's not a good time. But at the same time, man, she was so strong, Officer X. She kept her shit together. She kept positive. And because of that, it made it a lot easier for me to go through because she was strong. She was positive. She was like, boom, I'm kicking its ass. Let's go. Let's do this. And because of that, the whole experience was much better than it could have been. No fucking doubt about it.
She is the hardcore queen of extreme for 2008.
Now that's Francine's title. I don't.
She's coming up too in about 20 minutes. ECW Francine.
No, I'm so proud of you though. I'm so proud of you.
Heck yeah. Officer X, every week you call. You got like a ton of experience. You've been around the block many, many times. Share a survivor story with us, dude. Something about here. I got one for you. I'm gonna feed you a real quick story so you can feel my vibe. You can understand what I want from you. Justin McCauley, as you know from RVD TV. Justin McCauley, one of my very best friends, UFC fighter. Congratulations, Justin, for beating Eddie Sanchez last Wednesday. One time me and Justin were shooting up the highway, up the 110 North here in L.A. to go to Gold's Gym to catch a late night pump. And all of a sudden, it was just smoke everywhere. We went through this big cloud of smoke, and then we saw cars, a few cars, pulled over on the side of the road. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? It's late out. Justin goes, stop the car, stop. I'm like, what? We're on the fucking highway. So I pulled over and I stopped. Justin gets out and he takes off running. So I put the car in park and I went after him, and there was a car laying on the side. It had gone down the ditch and it was on its side. And when I ran up there, Justin was kicking the windshield, trying to break the windshield open because it was a 2-door, and the door on its side, was really heavy. I went and looked. I opened up the door because I'm an action hero, and I used my super strength, and I opened up the car from the side, which nobody else could do if they weren't RVD, motherfucker! And I pulled that fucking door all the way open, and I looked, and there was this little Mexican dude standing on his wife looking at me. And we pulled them out of the car, both of them out of the car, and, and by that time, like, some blue lights came up, some cops started coming and shit. We just got in our car, and we just left to go to the gym. But I'll tell you what, we had such a high. We drove off there going, yeah! Fuck yeah! Like let's see who else we can save. And it made us feel so good. We were so charged with positive energy. We thought we were superheroes, We were like on the fucking lookout after that. You, Officer X, being an enforcer of the law, which is the closest thing that we have in real life to superheroes, you get to do that shit all the time, don't you?
Yeah, it seems like it runs in spurts. I mean, the things that stick in your mind are like, you go into a house that's on fire once in a while, or when you chase a guy down who's got a gun and you get the thing off him and nobody gets hurt. Stuff like that's important, But anyway, I'm gonna share a survivor story with you that you know all about, and the fans out there would love this story. My little guy, Baby Joe, the daycare provider's son, 10 years old, got sick with cancer last year. Remember that, Rob?
Yeah, I do. That sucks.
So the kid was sick, and he fought it, and he shaved his head, and you sent him some pictures, and Dreamer sent him a picture. We had one of you, Fonzie, and Sabu, and Tommy on his picture wrote "Stay Hardcore," and that became his philosophy throughout his treatment. Cancer-free 2 months ago.
Wow.
Back in school, playing lacrosse, everything, and remember, if you remember, it was the night before Christmas Eve last year, and I was going to visit him in the hospital. And you just called me out of the blue, and I put you on the phone with him, and it made the kids Christmas,
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Cancer-free, And I never take the phone. I go in the hospital and that stuff. It's just the way things are supposed to happen. Now the little guy's back in school. He's playing lacrosse and football and doing his deal again,
Yeah, you and I are very much into looking at spiritual synchronization and occurrences, and we really get into that, and positive attitude. A lot of people that don't really get behind the positive attitude thing, and they think the law of attraction thing might be bullshit or whatever, even those people, when it comes to times of people going through chemo, even then, those people even believe, well, it's all about your attitude. You got to stay positive. That's what I find. People that generally don't live their life like that still believe that that's when it's time to kick it on, is when you're going through something like this. And that's what that kid did, and that's what Sonia did. They fucking stayed positive and saw their way through it.
Yeah, there's heroes in every bit of life. And when you're in a situation like that, my mother had cancer, and unfortunately she didn't make it through it, but oh, my God, I learned so much from watching her in the last year of her life, And I don't mean to bring this thing down, but she really showed me how to suffer with dignity, Never complained, never whined, anything, and just fought the good fight. But that was just the way it was supposed to go with her, But,
right.
But I just love it. I love when I go to road races. And my wife ran a marathon in her honor for a team in training and raised $20,000 for Leukemia Society.
Wow! Holy cow!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
she raised a ton of dough for that thing, man. The Disney Marathon, And it was a nice thing for my mother. My father and my sister-in-law and my sister and some my mother's friends flew out to Disney to watch the race, and we had a great time, And to see some of those kids, it just, oh my God, just making it through and surviving,
Yeah, no doubt.
Rob, there's a real important line in that movie, The Shawshank Redemption: "Get busy living or get busy dying."
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's just so profound.
Words to live by. And by the way, T, who's listening out there, we want to thank her for running also. She ran in Sonia's name. She's been like a huge support, one of the biggest fans out there. She's got the RVD fan website on MySpace, and there you are, T Grill. And anyway, she ran the marathon, and she had a picture of Sonia's face on her shirt. She sent us that picture of her running with that, and we were just like, wow. I mean, that just made us so real. Like she's really out there, doing this. And that was when all of a sudden it was very touching. And we want to thank you, T. And also, that was when it was so apparent to us that, oh my God, there are so many fundraisers. And it seemed like every other day. I was asking, like, is it Cancer Month or something? Because every commercial, every TV show, everything I see is cancer, 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 cancer. I never noticed that before. Officer X, you and I talk about, like, the coincidences that lead us, down our path in life. And before you notice those things, they might happen sometimes, and it just goes right over your head, and you're really not in sync. You're not plugged in. Once you start studying it, it makes you more aware for it, and then it's everywhere. And then, like now, every day, several times, basically the whole day is structured by connecting coincidences and. And that's, getting off on a spiritual subject, but I know Officer X can relate, maybe some other people can too. I'm wondering if that's why cancer's everywhere now. Are we just more aware of it? We didn't notice before, and because now, holy shit, everyone I talk to can relate to it. There's specials, fundraisers, and the commercials, and a lot of education out there. Damn it, where was all this before? Were we just fucking blind to it?
They didn't.
I wish we would have had a little bee buzzing in our ear, like a year ago, saying, hey, cancer, 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 get checked, because we missed that. We didn't have that. And that's why we're telling people right now, get checked, get it checked out. And even if you're in New York, like Harry Slash. What up, Harry?
Hey, Rob, what's happening, man? How are you?
Dude, I bet it's freezing in New York, isn't it?
It's freezing here. What are you talking about?
It's chilly here. It's not freezing.
It's freezing. It's snowing in the mountains.
Well, I'm not really an action figure like you are, but I am a tough guy, so I don't let the cold bother me.
Right on. Is there snow?
Yeah, we had a little bit last night. Actually, we had some pretty big snowflakes yesterday during the day. They were like golf ball size.
Oh, pretty snowflakes. Did you make shapes out of them?
No, not really.
Okay. Harry, give us a survivor story, dude.
Well, I had 3 in my family, 4 if you include myself. You guys know my father beat prostate cancer in 2002. Yeah. My mom had a lump removed. When my sister was very young, she had to have her thyroid removed. And I was like the lucky one where I was actually had a doctor appointment one day where I noticed a mole on my forehead had suddenly grown overnight.
Overnight? No shit?
Yeah, like almost the size of a nickel.
Wow, that's kind of hard to overlook.
Yeah, so the first thing, instead of, having the doctor take my blood pressure medicine, I said, what is this thing growing out of my head? And it was a melanoma in the earliest possible stages.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking about literally catching it within the first 48 hours. So
wow, dude, that's at the rate that thing was growing. I mean, can you imagine if you waited a couple months, you would have had another you hanging off your forehead?
Hell, man, I would have needed a second hat.
Second house, maybe. Fuck.
But I went back in a week later. He sliced off a piece of my forehead. He sent it to the lab. They said, congratulations, you caught it like within the first 48 hours.
Wow. Well, yeah. Congratulations, dude. You had your battle quick and over. Squash match.
Yeah.
That was an enhancement match. Totally jobbed it out, huh?
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of people and friends, like Joey Ramone, who is a friend of one of my best friend Mickey's. He died in 2001 from lymphoma, and I've been helping with the Joey Ramone Lymphoma Fund every year. They do an annual event here in New York where all the money is raised for lymphoma and cancer research in Joey's name.
Joey.
Yeah.
Right?
This Joey didn't beat up JBL.
I can stop it whenever I want. We're not committed to the whole thing. It's all right. Right on. Well, fuck, dude. Everybody seems to have stories about that. That's why, our switchboard has been completely lit up, shitload of calls, but usually people get tired of being on hold and they hang up after a few minutes because I'm kind of long-winded. You probably haven't noticed, but I give long answers,
But I've known you for 12 some odd years. I'm kind of used to that.
You got anything else to share with us, Harry Slash? Maybe Maybe you picked up a drunk bum that was laying in the gutter on New York Street and picked him out of the road right before he would have got ran over by a street cleaning truck?
There were quite a few of those incidents, but it was an ECW.
ECW. Hey, Francine's going to call in a little while.
Yeah, she's going to be a mom, I heard.
Yep, that's right. She's pregnant. Thanks for reminding me. Maybe I'll remember to congratulate her.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right on, dude. All right. Well, shit. It's another RVD Radio episode. Believe it or not. Hey, thanks for the clips, by the way. The Deadwood clips. Love them.
You got to play them more, man. You haven't played. You didn't play any last week. You haven't played. Give us one right now.
Let's see if I can find one.
Drop that down!
That's not the fucking Deadwood clip. This is. Did you see that?
Who stole the fucking dope?
What'd you say, baby? Oh, I don't know. All right, dude.
So you got to play the drag.
Listen, I want to talk to Nikki real quick. Blog Talk Radio producer Nikki Starr. Nikki Starr. Nikki, you said that you can relate to tonight's subject because you, in fact, have not escaped the hold of cancer. Is that correct?
Oh.
Talk to us, Nikki. Hey, I can unmute you from my side, too. You think I don't have
Okay, wait. I'll unmute myself, just so you know. I can do this.
I got the power, too, I think.
Yeah,
It'll just be longer to figure out how. Hey,
so,
share.
All right, so I'm 10 years cancer-free from uterine cancer, and I just have to say this.
Wow.
This is why I love SVD. Thank you very much. This is why I love SVD so much. It is really about positive thinking and, like, really knowing what works for you. So I had several different doctors tell me different things to do, but I went with what worked for me. So, I can't, like, say what works for everybody else, but what worked for me was doing what I did, and, 10 years cancer-free, so I'm happy.
That's awesome. And then
I feel very lucky.
Right, and you are. And then you got obviously a lot of emotional issues when you're female and you have shit like that happen, and then you're told you can't have kids.
Yes, I can't have kids, but hey, that's okay. I love my nieces and nephews, and that's okay.
Sometime we're going to have as a subject on the episode talking about the whole parental issue, because I don't have that parental drive myself. I just don't. I don't know why, but as a kid, I didn't dream of growing up and being a daddy. And Sonia and I have been together 12 years, and we're both on the same page. We like our lives, and we don't really see like a kid or several kids, fitting into our lifestyles into the mix.
Right.
People act like we're crazy. People act like, hey, how come you don't want them? What's wrong with you? And try and,
No.
act.
I think that's great. Like, for me, because I was pretty young when I knew I couldn't have any kids. Like, they took my uterus out because I had cancer, and I knew I would never have kids. And so I was okay with it from a pretty young age. Although I love my nieces and nephews, it's so okay not to have kids. And, like, for me, why is that an issue? If you aren't going to have kids and you don't want kids, you can love your nieces and nephews or the children around you, right?
Absolutely. Right? Nikki, I'm so with you on that 100%. And I've been told by numerous doctors, because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which I've never said out loud to the public until now, that it would be very hard for me to conceive. And depending on how the genetic testing comes back, I might be looking at a hysterectomy to possibly, it's very, we're very vulnerable to cancer.
Yes. And for me, like, they decided to take out my uterus, which is where you hold your baby. You understand that, right?
Yes.
So I have my ovaries, which means that I don't have to take any hormones, and this is very personal, but I don't have to take hormones, okay, and I can be, like, normal, but I don't have a uterus, so I can't carry a baby. So in the future, if I wanted a baby, they would have to take my eggs from my hormone, or like from my uterus, or from my ovaries, and then share them with someone. I don't need a baby. It's okay. I'm okay.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just saying it's okay.
I think they should just clone you, and then we can have another Nikki Star.
There you go. I like that.
As long as, right. As long as somebody can have
I'm sure your boyfriend wouldn't mind that, Simone, right?
Okay, yeah, he's
have
in
some
the
fun
chat
there.
room, and he would probably really like that a lot, just saying.
Yeah.
But
hey,
all I have to say is this. Cancer-free rocks, and I love you, SVD, and I wish you all the best of luck. I know how hard it is. I really do.
Thank you, Nikki, and you know what? I love you so much because I had no idea that you went through that, and that, wow, I feel really close to you right now.
Yeah, I love you, baby. Mwah.
Mwah.
No, don't hang up, Nikki Star. We still got a little over an hour.
I'm not hanging up.
I know. I'm creatively transitioning into telling how much time we have left. Okay, you ruined my smoothness.
Sorry.
Let me make this
share
point.
Very personal, but you asked me. You messaged me and asked me, so yeah, you got my personal. So I'm done.
No, of course. That's how we are. We're very unfiltered on RVD Radio.
Yeah.
We tell it like it is. There's no use in fucking lying because then you're changing history. There's no use in holding back because, hey, we're living it, you know. We want people to know. Here's the whole thing, by the way. This is a great way to plug RVD TV. I realized this as I was watching TV this week. You know what? Reality television is educational because we learn how real people react to situations. When you watch acting, you don't get that. You get made-up scenarios and you get made-up phony reactions. And, I mean, it's entertaining. Obviously, we all have a lot of fucking TV shows that we watch that are entertaining. But when it comes to reality TV, we actually get to see people being honest, being open, you know, like how they, you know, like TMZ. That's why TMZ is fascinating. You get to see how somebody really, a star, a celebrity that we hold up on a pedestal as being, you know, like worshipable, and we get to see how they really feel when they've just landed on a flight at 5:30 in the morning and they're tired and someone's shoving a camera in their face, asking them who the fuck they're gonna vote for. You know, we get to see like honest, real reactions. So that was my inspiration behind RVD TV, which you know, obviously is at robvandam.com. We're totally stoked because I just got the first DVD. RVD TV DVD Volume 1. If you go to robvandam.com, you can't help but see it. It pops right up, and that's the only place this is available. Just hopped on board a big, huge merger between RVD Productions and Big Vision Entertainment. Dude, so many projects there, I don't even know what I can talk about. But for 2009, I'm going to be doing a lot of DVD projects through Big Vision Entertainment, which is huge and about to be even huger. And I'll be bringing you news on that in the very near future. But very excited about it. And the RVD TV DVD Volume 1 is 10 episodes that I handpicked from some of the first and best of the RVD TV episodes. We now have 51 fucking episodes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all up at robvandam.com. Wow. And yeah, and they're all still available to RVD TV watchers. When you join, you have access to all of the episodes. But there's some damn good shit on there. There are some really, really good episodes that I'm really proud of, and I'm so stoked that we're putting them on DVDs because then more people will be able to see them. The DVDs will be in the stores, but here's the deal, not for a long-ass time. Big Vision's talking about like April before the stores would have the first RVD TV DVD, and it's also going to be a little different. It'll be like a 2-disc set. This particular 10-episode best of DVD that's available at robvandam.com only. It's only available there. And every single one of them that you order is autographed. So, very cool. Look at the previews page at robvandam.com if you want to see a little bit of what the episodes are like. I got a whole bunch of celebrities, and it's all real. None of it is scripted. None of it. It's all like real, whether it's me working out or having conversations, talking like we do here, you know, about, there we talk about, on the DVD, we talk about gun control, we talk about language censorship, we talk about the power of the mind, and it's awesome. Talk about the power of the mind with the ultimate warrior. Where else are you going to see that shit, right?
You're listening to RVD Radio.
Yes, you are, and we're plugging Rob Van Dam.
RVD TV watchers have complete unlimited access to the Extreme Archive Vault, containing every episode ever fucking filmed.
Indeed, and we are very proud of that. So check out the DVD, order it, we send it priority, autographed, new this week. We're going to take some calls. Who should we go to, baby? You want to pick a call? How about that?
Oh, sure, that's fine. Pick one. I'm not picky.
Say, let's go to Dario from Chicago.
Let's go to Dario from Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Rob.
Hey, what up, Dario?
Hey, what's up, Rob? First of all, I want to congratulate Sonia for, finishing up her chemo. I mean, I can't imagine how hard that must be. So, congratulations, Sonia.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so much. We are stoked. And for people that don't live on the West Coast, stoked means very excited. California language. Yeah, so, hey, you got any stories to share with us, dude, while we got you online? Maybe you know someone that's unfortunately been touched by cancer, or maybe you got an awesome survivor story, because I know you did start the congratulations by saying first off, so you've led us with expectations of a second off.
Oh, yeah, I want the survivor story that I have is actually my little nephew's, which he was born 5 months prematurely because my sister couldn't really, she wasn't strong enough to handle the pregnancy. So he was born at 4 months pregnant, and he was born like 1 pound, 1 pound and 2 ounces, something like that. And the doctors gave him no chance at all at living, but they tried their best. And I think my little nephew was the one who fought the hardest to want to live. He just had that will to live, and right now he's stronger than ever. He's 4 years old already, about to be 5 this New Year's Day, and that's the story that I have. And he's up right now, strong. He's real big. He's as big as 8-year-olds right now. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say that I had the survivor story from. And
right on, man. Hey, baby, what did Tina's baby weigh recently?
4 pounds, 2 ounces.
Okay, yeah, so nowhere as extreme as this one. But, yeah, we had a friend that recently had a baby that was 2 months premature. And so, of course, the baby couldn't come home right away. Had to stay in the hospital till she was at least 5 pounds. I actually was 1 month premature. I was supposed to come out January 17th, popped out December 18th. But I was a healthy baby, I think 7 pounds or something. I just, I needed glasses.
I think back then they just didn't calculate right.
That could be. You think that they couldn't count 9 months?
I just think they were a month off.
What do you mean back then? It wasn't in the Stone Ages. I mean, they didn't chisel it in stone.
The 70s, baby, come on.
The 70s. Very true, very true. All right, Hey, Nikki, Francine apparently can't get through. She's trying to call in. So,
yes.
So do you think
if we call her?
Yeah, let me punch in her number here. Her Sonia
Okay,
will.
I got it.
Oh, you already have it? How do you have it?
Send to me in AIM.
What?
Send to me in AIM. Okay?
Oh, okay, gotcha. You mean I got it?
All right.
I got you. Okay, thanks, Nikki. She says I
You're
got
welcome.
it, and I thought she meant she already had it, but she meant dude, I got this, I can take care of this. So that's cool. Okay, well, shit, man. We've got an hour left to go, and we got a bunch of callers still. And so let's move right on to someone else. Let's see. That was Dario from Chicago. Very cool story. And Nikki Heyman has been saying, me. Look at her on there. Okay. How are you, Nikki Heyman?
What up, Nikki?
I'm doing very well, Rob, and you must be doing awesome, Sonia. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It really does feel awesome to be done.
We are stoked. It's like a holiday, Nikki Heyman.
And well, this is the party. This is the party. You know, somebody in here brought the beer. You brought the ganj. What did I bring? Oh crap! I might have to call back. No.
So how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there, Rob. It's been rough. It's freezing in Ohio, of course. It's turned into a nice little ice ball here in the last couple of days. I've been sliding sideways up and down the roads to my real job.
That's how I learned to drive. Absolutely. I learned to drive on the snowy, shitty roads with a stick shift.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it explains how I got to be so good. I'm a fucking race car driver. You see me. So we want to hear some stories, Nikki. Good or bad, throw them out on the table and share what you got.
Well, I had 2 major surgeries in my 20s. When I was in college, I was a good 6 hours away from home, so it wasn't a matter of calling my mom and calling the doctor and having something set up within a couple of days. I was having these horrible abdominal pains. Doesn't sound familiar, Sonia? And I didn't have a regular doctor at campus, so I had a couple of runs to the emergency room, and the first thing they would ask me as they're wheeling me in is, "Are you pregnant?" I said, "That would be a fucking miracle, now wouldn't it? I don't even have a boyfriend." So that's the first question they ask you. Then, you know, they run up and down a couple of other things. Most of the time they would just give me something and send me home. Well, over a break, I was home for a couple of weeks and actually got to a real doctor who put me through, in the first case, it was a GI, where they...
How do you spell that, Nikki? I'm just joking.
Rob, you're a doofus.
I know. I broke your focus.
No, that's cool. I'll get you for that later. In the first case, it turned out that I had this horrible case of gallstones, and that's what college food does to you. So I had to stay home and get my gallbladder out. And when they showed me the gallstones, they were all the size of marbles. Small wonder I was doubled over in pain every night.
No shit. That does not sound comfortable.
So a couple of years later, I'd had a situation where I ended up having to have an ovarectomy, which is where they tear out one of your ovaries, because they found cysts about half the size of tangerines wrapped around one of them. That's no fun. Now, the surgeries went great. I recovered. I fully recovered. I haven't had any problems since. But there's a nightmare that goes with a lot of this medical stuff that you haven't touched on, and that's the bills and the insurance and all the other crap on top of it. That's where I think
you're right. I mean that's a whole nother episode, isn't it, Nikki?
It is. It's one of those things that that's where some people might not, when they're having a problem, if it's something that they can put off because they can't afford to go to the doctor or they don't have insurance, it gets to, you're flipping a coin. You're risking your life on the one hand, but you got to keep a roof over your head too.
Right, and you can look at all insurance that way, as like kind of like a gamble. This is something you can't plan for, you can't really expect that you're going to need surgery for the most part. It's usually something unavoidable. That's why the fuck we have it. And you can't really when you're figuring out your finances and budgeting and planning out your life, you usually don't consider throwing in a couple of major surgeries in there too. And that's that has been the case. I mean, fuck, Sonia, how many surgeries have you had now?
6.
6 surgeries, holy.
Yeah. And what was the bill there? I asked.
Once I get my porta catheter out, it'll be 6. So once all this is said and done, 6 surgeries.
And that, of course, is including, her knee surgery, which we talked about earlier when we first mentioned the survivor stories. We were, in that jet ski accident, which fucking busted her leg up bad, and she had to get that reconstructed, and that took a few surgeries. So yeah, I mean that kind of shit you don't plan on. I mean, when back in the day when you met me, you know, we didn't say, you know, will you sign to spend the rest of your life with me and get your mangled leg and cancer and fucking.
It's kind of that Superman thing, because I had never broken a bone when I met you. I'd never had surgery. I still had my wisdom teeth when I met you. My goodness. Superman, you're not kidding.
Yeah, damn that, Mr. Fanny. My high school principal said I was dangerous to be around.
I'm just going to call you Cal-El from now.
All right. Yeah. Well, Nikki, glad that you made it through and that you're able to fucking sit there and tell us over the phone that you're completely recovered from all that shit.
The good news was that it wasn't cancer, and that, believe it or not, that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, it didn't cross our mind either, so I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Because, what, baby?
Nothing.
You can't talk to me while I'm talking to Nikki Heyman on the phone.
I'm sorry. I know that guy, Billy B.
Just hit him alongside the head, Sonia.
All right.
I'm sorry, what was that, Nikki?
Just hit him alongside the head.
She will. All right, Nikki. Well, I'm gonna go on to Billy B from Mississippi and see what he's got to add to RVD Radio today. If I can unmute him. Look, I hit it twice. There we go. Billy B from Mississippi. What's up, dude?
What's up, Robbie B?
How are you, man? Sonia says go to Billy B. I know that dude.
Well, I'm glad to hear that she recognizes me this time. I'm glad to hear that she's feeling good. Cancer's all gone. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, she looks good. She feels good. We're fucking happy.
Kick ass.
Yeah.
Was that April the 25th when you got it? Was that the first surgery?
Yes. Yes, it was. April 25th. That was when they took out the tumor.
Yeah, so they took the tumor out with surgery, and they did a little surgery to install this portacath, which they will have to surgically remove as soon as they tell us that they can. You know, for some reason they want to wait like a little bit, and I don't know. That's when I'll feel like we have it even more behind us. After you get that surgery, get that portacath taken out. No more chemo, no more portacath. We'll go get checked up, you know, once in a while, and then I'll feel like we put it behind us.
I agree.
Yeah. So Billy B, you rescue any drowning Tom Sawyers from the Mississippi River?
Well, just while I was on hold for so long, 20 minutes ago, there was a car coming through the four-way. It was flying out, and there was a family backing up right behind me, and I could see him flying. He wasn't going to stop, and they were just still backing up because my car is blocking them. I hit the horn twice. He stopped. The car behind me stopped. Saved the family.
Oh, shit. There you go. See that? And I'd like to think that if you weren't listening to the show, you might not have saved them, you know, but since you listened, you said, you know what? It's the spirit of the show. I'm going to save some families' lives. Right on, dude. That's pretty awesome, Billy B. Officer X. That's right up your alley, man. You almost had to go to Mississippi and take care of an accident.
No, I'm not doing it, man. It's too far.
Right on. Hey, what'd you say, man? You just texted me and said that you're having a hard time multitasking, talking on RVD Radio while you're taking police calls and saving people.
Yeah, it ain't easy, man, to walk out, take care. I just found a missing kid while I was bullshitting with you guys. You know, we do it all out here. I'm not shitting you.
Who is that?
Officer X is a fucking man.
Oh. Hey, how some of our demos got unmuted and we can hear Nikki laughing back there?
I'm sorry.
No, that's all good. Oh no, yeah, that's Nikki Heyman laughing too. Dude, awesome. Well, hey, that's support, though. Officer X not willing to miss a minute of RVD Radio, even during a car chase, you know, because he's got experience, and we talked about that last week too, being comfortable in the face of danger. Is it an exciting night, Officer X, or pretty standard, or what's going on in parts unknown Massachusetts?
freezing out, buddy. Ice everywhere, cold. Everyone's in the house.
Even I find that, like, when it's really snowy and shit in the south, like around the Carolinas, Georgia, you can be guaranteed there's cars laying all over the fucking street. Up in Massachusetts, in that area, they're a little more used to it. They know how to drive a little better in those conditions, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that big of a deal. Everyone's kind of used to it out this. But I mean, it sucks though when it's coming down. First time of the year. They even canceled school this morning. Baby Joe got to stay home all day.
Lucky.
Right on. Well, fuck, dude, that is what I used to look forward to back in the day when I remember, because I grew up in Battle Creek, Michigan. I remember watching the news every morning, hoping that. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking, reading text here. Anyway, hoping that school would get canceled. I remember pouring water in the street out in front of my house, and hoping that it would somehow freeze and that school would be canceled. I didn't understand. It wasn't just in front of my house, but I thought that they would say, "Oh, the bus can't make it down Pine Lake Road." So that was the happiest time of my life. But school's canceled. Yes, that was awesome. Anyway, I'm confused because I'm multitasking. I'm reading that. Nikki has Francine on a three-way call, so I think that's hey Nikki, let Francine through. I'm obviously
there. She is, right? Are you there, Francine?
Yeah, I'm here.
You go, girl.
Hey Francine, welcome to RVD Radio.
Hi Rob, how are you?
How are you?
I'm sitting here listening to you drop F-bombs and talk about how you poured water in the street. I was just being quiet until I was told to come on. So I didn't know what my cue was to start talking.
No, that's cool. It's a very strictly formatted show, as you can tell. Very much.
No, that's very lazy. Well, is Sonia with you?
Sonia's right here.
Hey, Francine.
Sonia, I'm so happy for you, sweetie. I really am so proud and happy, and I've been praying for you. I told you that, and I'm just so elated that somebody else beat this. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Francine.
Yeah. So Francine, a lot of listeners may or may not be familiar with how you've been touched by cancer as well. We talked about Sonia and what she's gone through today being her very last day of chemotherapy. So that's our situation. And you yourself have been touched recently because, unfortunately, you lost a couple members of your immediate family to cancer.
Well, it started with my oldest sister. This was last October of 2007. She was just getting really, really bad pains in her lower abdomen and her back. She went in for some tests and came back that they couldn't tell what was wrong, and they wanted to do what's called an exploratory surgery. So they admitted her into the hospital. She was there. 4 hours into her operation, they punctured her lungs open, and her heart rate was so rapid that they said if they didn't close her up, it was an 8-hour operation, mind you. If they didn't stitch her back up, she would have died on the table. So she went through 4 hours of surgery for no reason. They stitched her back up, but they said while they were in there, they saw something, but they couldn't go back in for another 2 weeks. So we were like, okay, so she was recovering from the punctured lungs and all this stuff, and then they went back in, and here she had a very rare form of cancer, bile duct, cancer of the bile duct. And I spoke to you last week, Rob. I really never, not that I didn't pay attention to cancer, but it didn't hit home, so I wasn't aware of anything that went on. I wasn't aware of the treatments that could be had, the suffering that was going to happen. She had this surgery to remove it, but they said there was a chance that it could come back. So long story short with her, she was very sickly for the last 10 months of her life. I got married this June, and my father and my sister both made the wedding. My sister was one of my bridesmaids. She couldn't even get the dress on because she had 2 bags. She was leaking bile. through her. She had a hole in her stomach, and she was just leaking bile. They couldn't stop it. So she couldn't even wear the dress that she wore. A little summer, it was cute, a little green summer jumpsuit thing that matched, the girls' dresses. And she made it to the wedding, but she had to leave early at the reception because she was just too tired. 3 weeks after my wedding, the beginning of July, my father was peeing blood, and they didn't know what that was from. They rushed him to the hospital. They said, well, it could be this, it could be that, or it could be cancer. And that came out of nowhere because he suffered from back pain, but we didn't think that was anything. So here, when they found out what he had, it was stage 4 pancreatic. He was so far gone at that point, he couldn't be saved. I begged him to try chemo because I'm very close with my parents, very tight-knit family. I said, just try it once, see, maybe it could save you. I didn't understand the stages of cancer, what stage 4 was. They said pancreatic is the worst cancer you can get. He did 1 round of chemo, got deathly sick to the point where he thought he was going to die. And he didn't want to go back and do chemo anymore. And to be honest with you, they said if he continued the chemo, it might have prolonged his life maybe 2 weeks. They said it really wouldn't have helped him anymore, but for some reason, maybe I was being selfish, but I just wanted him to try because I didn't want to lose him.
I understand
so he tried. Yeah, it's just hard. I know my parents were a little older when they had me. He was 79 years old when he died. But he tried the chemo, didn't like it. He said, I'm not going back. I said, okay, that's fine. I came down to visit my parents, and here my father had passed out, fell on top of my mother. My poor mother bruised her whole leg. She couldn't walk. She's on a walker now. My father actually passed out because he was losing his blood due to the fact that the cancer had spread from the pancreas to the liver to the colon at this point. So he was bleeding through the back because of the colon. The colon was bleeding. And gushes of blood were coming out of him. They told us to take him in for blood transfusions. Well, we took him in for a week. He lived off of the blood transfusions, and finally he looked at us and he said, I want to go home. The nurse told us, if you take him home, he's going to die eventually because he's going to lose his blood again. He can't keep living off of a blood transfusion. Eventually the cancer's going to catch up. So we took him home that day. I took him home. I came with him in the ambulance. And then I told my mother, I'll stay with you as long as you need me to help you because my mom's 78. She's old, and I wanted to help take care of my dad. And that night I heard him, and I came in the room, and about 20 after 1, and he died in my arms. He bled to death. So that was hard on me. We went to the wake for my father, and while we were at the wake, we got word that my sister had passed away.
Wow.
So we had 2 funerals in a matter of 4 days. And it was tough. My sister was on hospice, and I don't know if you guys know what that is. For those who don't know, it's when you're taken care of at home around the clock by a visiting nurse that comes in. They bring a medical bed to you. So she had a bed set up in her house the last 3 months of her life. She was bedridden. They had her on morphine. They had her on every drug you could imagine because hospice wants to keep you as comfortable as you can. She was actively dying is the word that the nurse told us.
Actively dying.
Actively dying is what they told me. So she had, the week before she died, she had a spurt, and it was remarkable. She sat up. She talked, but she talked in gibberish. We didn't know what she was saying. They make motions with their hands. She was like, she would pretend that she was fixing. She loved pictures, and she always took pictures and did collages and books. And she was moving stuff around with her hands. And I said, what are you doing, Chris? And she says, I'm putting the pictures in a box. There was no pictures there.
Right.
And she would just keep constantly pointing at the sky, like she was pointing the sky. It was just to observe her the way she was in her final stages. It was crazy. And then the night that I was at my dad's wake, my sister had died, so we went to her house because we wanted to go see her one last time before the morticians came and took her away. And when we got there, they said that her jaw was locked open. They tried to close it, but they couldn't close it. They left her in the room. Maybe 15, 20 minutes later, they came back, and she had a full smile on her face. Wow. And nobody touched her mouth. Yeah, and they, you know, we like to think that that's the moment that she saw my dad, and now they're together. I mean, you know, for people who believe in that, it gives you comfort. And religion's a whole different subject. I won't even get into it.
No, it is, but you're right. And believe me, my free thinkers are those people that believe in the spiritual realm. So that smile at the end of that story is a little bit enlightening to a pretty nasty story. To say that you were touched by cancer, Francine, would be an understatement. You got fucking kicked hard in the ass by it, you know, so.
Yeah, you know, and well, here's the thing. It's like once that happens, you know, we're still dealing with it. The holidays are rough. You know, like I was sitting with my mom last night, and we were both hysterical crying because, you know, it's Christmas time. My dad was really, like, in this spirit. He used to decorate 5,000 lights on the house. I mean, he really loved it. So it's kind of hard. But I said to myself, well, I'm going to go get my cancer markers checked. You know, I want to go to the doctors. And it turned out when I went to get the markers checked, I found out I was pregnant.
Congratulations,
and thank
by
God
the way.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm 7 weeks pregnant, and I'm really excited about that. I mean, we've been trying, obviously, but I initially did the thing for the doctor because I wanted to get the cancer markers checked. My other sister, she just found out about a month ago that she had kidney cancer. And thank God this is a good story, though, because she went in. She had a tumor on her one kidney. They removed it. It didn't spread. She's recovering, and she's fine. So that's a positive story. I mean, she didn't need any chemo, but everything just happened, you know, within a year. I had 3 members of my immediate family be struck with this disease, and it just makes you think, like, it could affect anybody. So it's a scary disease, and, I mean, you know, now I'm always, you know, I want to raise money. I want to help. I want to watch documentaries. I want to see as much as I can and learn as much as I can because it is a part of me now, you know. And
yeah, believe me,
in the day I was just.
That's why you're on the show. Appreciate you sharing your stories and helping to keep everybody else aware too, because you said just like us. We had no fucking idea that it was so common. We didn't know that it could even come into our lives. We didn't know that it was even real. It was just something, you know, that we heard about. And, you know, we all, just like you, you know, we got smacked hard. So appreciate you sharing your stories and helping make everyone else aware, because that seems to be an answer in itself as far as, like, what the fuck can we do? We can tell somebody else. Just like we wish somebody would have told us. We wish somebody would have said, hey, go get that fucking colonoscopy. I wish somebody would have told us that a year ago, you know, but they didn't.
Exactly.
I got a bunch of calls too, Francine, so if you want to hang out for a minute, I want to go.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. All right, Frederick from Fort Worth, Texas. You got a survivor story for RVD Radio?
Yes, sir, I do.
Awesome. Let's hear it, dude.
First, I want to say congratulations to you and your wife.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Frederick. We'll take that. It's an awesome day.
Oh, my survivor series story is that I'm 3 months premature. And
okay, so was that might have been a little scary time for your parents, and I mean 3 months, that's pretty good. I was a month. I don't think, and I think I was like 7 pounds, so I don't think that there was any. I don't think that there was any scare, you know, 3 months. I mean, I'm sure you ain't leaving the hospital for a while when you come through like that.
I know I was bleeding at the brain, and my grandmother was scared, so she was praying for me. So I got better.
Right. So how'd you turn out?
Pretty good.
Right on, man. All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing that story with us, Frederick. We're glad to have you among us here in the living realm. Right here, who's this Fonzie guy? Fonzie?
Oh, no.
That's right, Daddy.
What up, Fonzie?
Life is good. Back on RVD Radio, I heard you had Francine on tonight. With,
Hi, honey. How are you?
Hey, Franny. What's up, Daddy?
Nothing much,
You can't call Francine Daddy, can you? Yeah, I guess you can.
Always does.
That's right, Daddy.
It's endearing.
She's sweet.
How are you, sweetie?
I'm good. I'll probably see you in January or February for those Philadelphia shows.
Yeah. Hey, Franz, did you hear I'm knocked up?
Congratulations. It wasn't me, was it?
I don't know. It might have been. Remember that one night we had?
Oh, my God, little Fonzie. I'll be the uncle, you know? Granny, I love you.
Awesome. I love you, baby.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll be in touch about those shows, Fonz. I'll talk to you at another time.
Okay, super. Sorry, Brandy, I'm going to take up the time, but, me and Franny are still working together. I see her on the, like 4 or 5 months. Every 4 or 5 months we hang out and, do a little skit. What's the big topic tonight?
Fonzie works for our all-girl company, Rob.
What's
that? I love
oil company?
All-girl.
I'm the booker for WEW. It's an all-girl company, and Fonzie's like our only dude that works there.
Oh, okay. Fonzie, this is the porno girls that you were telling me about?
Exactly.
Yeah, but I book the wrestling stuff, Rob.
Yeah,
I book the wrestling side.
Francine, are you the genius behind the well thought out dildo on a pole match?
No,
okay.
I've tried to legitimize it. And if you watch our last pay-per-view, now the porn scenes have angles because I wrote them in.
That's right, Daddy.
I'm trying to make it more wrestling orientated. So.
My personal secretary on the show is a porn star. She's a lot of fun. My personal secretary on the show is a porn star.
Just because you're hung like a moose doesn't mean you got to do porn.
This is a whole different show altogether.
Nancy, Daddy. Tonight's subject we're talking about is cancer. I'm not sure if you heard or not, Daddy, but today is real special for the Van Dams because Sonya got disconnected from her chemo pack for the last time today. So we are officially through with chemotherapy and totally through. And we're listening to people's stories about cancer and also survivor stories. Fonzie, Daddy, all your years on the road, being around the world 1,000 times, I'm sure you've been touched by cancer. I'm sure you've got survivor stories of plane crashes that you crawled out of and all kinds of shit. So we want you to lay it on us hard, Daddy.
Okay, I'll hit some good topics where I shouldn't be here right now. When I was 2 years old, that was 49 years ago, there was cloth diapers. I had peed my pants, and I got my mother's hairpin with steel. I stuck it in the light socket, and they shot me halfway across the room, and I was dead. My mom gave me so my ass was smoking, and my mom gave me CPR, brought me back to life, rushed me to the hospital, and I survived.
Holy shit, Daddy.
4 years later, my mom said, Fonzie, don't go off the front porch now. I said, okay. I was 6 years old this time. As soon as she went in the house, I went off the porch, went down to the river with the teenage kids. We're all playing in the river. I was up to my waist. I stepped in the hole, and I was drowning. And if it wasn't for these two big guys that would happen to be walking down the street, the riverbank, they pulled me out, sent me to the hospital, CPR, the whole 9 yards, almost died. And
that's right.
A third time, this is more good karma. I was walking over a bridge, and I stopped to light a cigarette. As soon as I stopped to light a cigarette, RVD, a car came over the bridge like a stunt car and did a jump over the bridge, went out of control. And if I wouldn't have stopped to light that cigarette, the car would have hit me. It was like maybe 1 foot in front of me, right through the cement barrier, right into the river. So one more step, I would have been dead. A couple of plane crashes, but that's good karma. Another good karma is what's that?
Like a cat.
Oh my God! In 1985, I flew from Tampa to Honolulu, and I stopped in Dallas. 1985 Dallas. I left Dallas straight to Honolulu. When I landed in Honolulu, all over CNN, a plane crash right after I left. About 40 minutes after I left, wind shears crashed the plane, the big jetliner, same airline I was on, American or whatever it was, and it killed like 160 people. Wow, that was kind of crazy. Weird. You know what I mean? You just leave there and the plane crashes. Another time I was leaving San Francisco, and I changed my flight, and I jumped on a flight from San Francisco to LA Tampa to get in earlier. And I was on standby in LA, got on in LA. When I left LA, thank God, bam, when I landed, the earthquake had already hit. That was 93 in Los Angeles. It's like the biggest earthquake in the last 70, 80 years, whatever. So I had some near misses. And another plane crash, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, Kevin Sullivan, superstar Billy Graham, and Cowboy Ron Bass, and myself, going from Tampa to Miami in a little twin-engine plane, and this girl was going to jump in with us, but we said, no, there's not enough room for you, so she stayed. We took off. We got over Tampa in a little twin-engine plane, and all the guys weighed about 280 to 300 pounds. Superstar Billy Graham was big. Kevin was peaked out. Humperdinck weighed 300 pounds, and Cowboy Ron Bass was probably 320, and I was 155. So we got over Tampa. One of the motors went out, Van Dam, and so we had to make emergency landing. We did a big bank over Tampa, and maybe a couple thousand feet before we landed, the motor went out. We kind of crashed, but we didn't crash. But the captain said, the pilot said, if we would have took that girl and she would have sat on that side where the motor kept going out, we would have crashed for sure. So everybody turned white and was praying and all that kind of stuff. But I feel that it's kind of karma for me. But, I don't remember any of when I got electrocuted when I was a kid. I don't really remember any of that. But I was definitely dead, and they had to bring me back to life. So
I remember, I think it was a car accident that you were in with a semi where you guys were flipped around and you were looking at the semi driver. Do I remember that correctly?
Yes, exactly. That's 100% true. We were driving from Tampa to Atlanta to pick up Tommy Rich and then head on into Philly. It was going to be like a 4 or 5 day tour or something long. And we were driving up, turn night. We were just, doing our little thing. And somehow we were in a minivan and we were driving north on 75, doing 70, 80, keeping up with the flow. It's a busy travel interstate. And somehow we lost control and we spun around. And on the side of us in the fast lane was an 18-wheeler. And when we spun around, we're doing 80 miles an hour, 70, or at least 60 or 70, going backwards. And the freaking semi-truck, we were face-to-face with it, going backwards for northbound on 75. It was crazy. Not a scratch on us. The thing ended up flipping and all that kind of shit. It's kind of a miracle that I'm here, but,
Holy shit, Fonzie, you're like, your whole life is like a fucking action movie, dude. We're like
Kind of. We make a movie, we can put all that in there to, bring a little drama. Plus, here's something real serious. When I married not young, but, I was young, in my early 20s, and my high school sweetheart, Tiffany's mom, my daughter, Van Dam, you send her a high school graduation card with a $100 bill in it. Thank you so much. Tiffany's mom was my wife, and I loved her. She was a cheerleader in school, athletic, beautiful, and her kidney.
We used to joke about how could she be your daughter. I know.
Yeah, so her mom, at the age of 20 years old, and right after giving birth, she got real sick with her kidneys. Both of her kidneys shut down, and I was on the road working for Florida Championship Wrestling, and she ended up fighting her kidneys, and she had 2 kidney transplants in 2 years, and she spent out of 24 months, 2 years, she probably spent maybe 16 to 14, 13 months in the hospital, maybe a month here, 2 months there, a month here, and then we ended up losing her after a 2-year battle with her kidney failure. But that was kind of difficult to handle at the time, but it was part of life, I guess. It seems so far, a long time ago, but
wow, it seems like a long time ago that I asked you if you had any stories to share. Holy shit. You have a lot of, I knew that you lived an adventurous life out there on the road, Fuzzy Daddy, but holy shit. Listen, I'm going to go to Mike from California.
Hey, Mike, Daddy.
10 minutes after the show. Mike, we got ECW's Queen of Extreme, Francine. I got Fuzzy right down the middle. I got Austin Trax on the line, RVD, SVD. I even got Nikki Heyman, because you didn't even know you weren't on mute, did you, Nikki? Say something. We can hear you. How about that? Anyway, Mike from California. What's up, dude?
Dude, it's raining over here, man. What's going on?
We're just enjoying another show, man. These shows are fun to do, and like every week, we're almost done.
Okay, I just want to say quickly to your beautiful wife, congratulations on your progress, and I wish you more success. And it's just uplifting, to hear how great you've been doing, and congratulations on completing your chemotherapy. And I just wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate it.
And I wanted to say hey to Francine. What's up with Fonzie? How you guys doing?
We're doing great, Daddy.
We're good, honey. Thank you.
EC-Dub.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, RVD, could you send me out with a little snippet
RVD, motherfucker!
There you go, bro. Hey, I want to say, just it's wonderful to hear you guys, and to your beautiful wife, congratulations, and you guys have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, Mike from California.
Radio.
Right on. Yeah, Fonzie, I was thinking about getting a soundbite from one of our matches. When people say, hey, take me out with the Van Daminator, maybe you can hear a little clip of Joey Styles saying, and Fonzie's got the chair, and he throws it, bam!
Oh.
Wouldn't that be sweet? I don't know if that exists or not.
Yeah, that does exist.
Awesome.
I was probably already on the internet.
That's
yeah,
fine.
we can pull that up.
Yeah, definitely. Are you allowed to play these clips?
Hell yeah.
They're all over
Are people
YouTube.
allowed to say ECW anymore?
Oh, I know. As long as we don't allude to the superstars as pro wrestlers, I think we're safe.
Oh, is that what it is?
Hey, Francine, it's our constitutional right in America to say whatever we want to say, so you can't stop the freedom of speech, Daddy.
Yeah, so we can call it. We can still say the word ECW. It just don't mean shit anymore.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, they should be paying us.
Hey, Mike from California, did you have a question? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was kind of unrelated, but I was just going to ask you if you had any info about that Mickey Rourke film, The Wrestler. I heard a lot of good things about it.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. And before I start talking about this, Francine, Fonzie, you guys probably have not yet been exposed to the movie The Wrestler, right?
I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, a little bit. They filmed some of the stuff in the ECW arena in Philadelphia, so I met some of the guys that worked on the set when I went up to do one of my shows recently. So, but not any exposure. I don't know too much about it, but they say
okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might come out today. I think I heard, but it comes out this week anyway. I went to a screening of it. Sonia and I did last week. Neil Kaplan, who, by the way, was supposed to call. I guess I need to remind my callers that they need to call in the day of the show, huh? We talk about it a week later, and then I forget. See, Nikki, that's why I don't set it up till the day of the show normally. I set it up a few days in advance.
I get it.
Anyway, I went and saw The Wrestler, and a lot of hype about how this is like what a kick-ass movie, and it got nominated for these global awards, and Mickey Rourke's expecting an Academy Award. Sonia and I went to a screening of it. Mickey Rourke, Marissa Tomei, the director, a bunch of the people involved were there up in Hollywood, and here's what I think. It was enjoyable from beginning to end. It wasn't one of those movies where I said, oh, my God, I wish it would be over. It wasn't like that. All the way through it kept my attention. But, God, it just left me feeling so disturbed. It was disturbing as I was watching it because it was so real. I felt kind of like I was being judged, kind of like they took my life dreams and put them up there to try to make it seem meaningless. But the fact is, it was a good movie. The story that they chose to tell is a depressing story about a doomed character. The guy, Ram, that's Mickey Rourke's character, he's a wrestler from the 80s that refuses to quit. And you and I, all of us, we all know many of these wrestlers. They refuse to quit. They sacrifice their family, everything for their passion, for the job. So they get old, beat up. They're not, making very much money. They have to do things they don't want to do to supplement the income. But they go out there and it's like they choose to die on the battlefield, instead of living a more safe, longer life. I don't know. Anyway, that's the story they chose to tell. It's not about the wrestler in his heyday when he was wrestling in front of 20,000 people. It's about the wrestler wrestling in front of fucking 600 people in a shitty little building and busting their ass, like dying out there. It was depressing. And I wanted to see the other side told, because obviously this is what we do. This is our life dream, and obviously, there's a successful side to it. The movie is a very depressing movie about a guy with no hope, and, I look forward to talking to people after they see it and talking about it. From what I understand, the director said, because there was a Q&A afterwards, and director Darren Aronofsky said that Roddy Piper was in the theater a few days before, and he went and cried and told him it was so real. It was real. I mean, they get it down. The wrestler can't afford to pay his own fucking rent. He's sleeping in his van, but he still goes to the tanning bed in the gym and does the drugs and whatever he has to go through it. And, that was kind of sad to see that portrayed because it was so realistic, but there's no reward for it in this movie. It's a guy that he's already been there, he's already got everything he's going to get out of it, and now he does it because he can't fit in the real world. So there you go. That's basically how it left me. When I went down and talked to the director afterwards, Darren Aronofsky, I shook his hand and I said, hey, dude, thanks for reducing all my life dreams to a pile of rubbish, because that's what I felt like. I felt like if there was a message to this movie, the message is, hey, this is a meaningless, fucking ridiculous pursuit. That's what I felt like. Dr. Sean, is that you, buddy?
Hey, RVD.
Hey, doctor.
You're the doctor of Distrucity.
There you go. I am the whole fucking show.
I want to say that I was listening to the show. I was on my way back.
RVD, motherfucker!
You called it.
I know.
We're in sync. We're on the same page there.
That guy always yells at me every week, guys. Sorry. Anyway.
Hey, Dr. Sean, I got Francine on the line. I got Fonzie on the line, and Officer X.
Sean.
And FBD are standing by.
Hey, guys. Hey.
What's up, Doc Daddy?
Hey, I was driving home, and I heard Francine talking. I heard Officer X, and, and I got cut off, and I couldn't get back in, so I just pulled up to my house. I'm getting ready to do my show.
Well, you're in now, dude. Your show is following Ask Dr. Sean on Blog Talk Radio, immediately following RVD Radio. Sean, we're talking about cancer, dude. We're also talking about survivor stories. You feel warm or cold on either one of those tonight?
Well, of course. I have a soft spot in my heart for cancer patients because my mom unfortunately lost her life to cancer, and it was breast cancer originally, then she went in remission for a year. She had discovered a creativity about her. She made lampshades and actually made a business out of it and became very, very good at it. Then it rediscovered in her liver and it went to her brain, and then she had sugar diabetes, and it was just a mess at that point. So she died, September 4th, 1984. But so I have a soft spot in my heart for that, and I just want to give a shout out to SBD Sonia because I'm very, very proud of her, and I'm very happy. And congratulations, Sonia. I knew you'd get through it, and I just want to say I'm very, very happy, and I feel awesome about everything. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Sean. I appreciate that. And it was hard. Like in the middle of it, I questioned if I was going to get through it. It was not the easiest thing I've ever gone through. For sure.
There was a time, especially towards the beginning, when she was on her way out. She was like, "Fuck this," and she wanted to leave the hospital, and we had to try and reason with her. And it was. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for you.
Sure. It's probably a whole host of emotions and psychological factors that play part in that, and I could only imagine. So it wasn't just a physical thing, but it was a big mental thing that went with that. So that's why I'm so proud of her, because I knew she'd pull through, and the support was always there. And I felt, I called and checked on her many times. I wanted to get out there to California and spend some time with you guys, but, just the way circumstances were. But you always knew that if I absolutely had to be there, I would have been there.
Yeah, we have comfort in knowing that we have a lot of support, a lot of friends, and definitely a lot of fans. Baby, there's been so many emails coming in and so many people praying for you and sending positive energy, and that means a lot. It means a lot to me because they know how important you are to me, and also you're important to them. I mean, the more people know about you, the more cool they realize you are, and the more they understand why I'm the best husband in the world.
You are the best husband ever.
It's so easy, baby. Listen, I got Matt, who's called all the way from England. What's up, Matt? Can you hear us?
Bob.
Cheers.
Yeah, I can hear you all right.
Listen, you got RVD, SVD, Queen of Extreme Francine, Dr. Sean, Crazyak, and Fonzie, Daddy, right down the middle. Whenever you get such an opportunity, you better have something really cool to share with us.
Well, I've got a few things to share. One, SVD, motherfucker.
Love it.
Second thing,
that was awesome.
Survivor story.
Let's have it, Matt.
Survivor story. BBL survived Joey Styles.
Yeah. ABL survived Joey Styles. That makes me want to go to my Joey. But I won't do it because it doesn't sound that clear, and Sonya will slap me when I go to it. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
But show's been awesome tonight.
Appreciate that. We have a lot of fun with it, man, and a lot of support. We have a lot of calls, man. We still have a lot of calls, and we only got about 9 minutes left of the show, so appreciate your support, Matt. Appreciate you calling in.
No problem, dude.
Yeah, right on, dude. Keep it coming. That's a strong support. And I also see on the message board where Matt says he might go to Dr. Sean's show. Dr. Sean is on immediately following RVD Radio. Did you see that, baby? I did. Holy cow, we just had like a crazy blackout. So, hey, talk to each other. Dr. Sean, say hi to Francine.
Francine, hi, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Sean.
I'm very proud of you, too. I know you've had a really crazy year. I thought about it, and I told Rob about it, too. It's like everything that you've been through this year. Talk about changes. You got married. Unfortunately, you lost your dad and your sister, and I'm very sorry to hear that, as you know.
She's pregnant.
I know.
You're pregnant. You have a baby coming into the world. It's just, what a year for you.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster, but the baby was a good note, so we're excited. So
absolutely,
we're ending 2008 on a positive note, thank God. So we'll see.
Yep.
It can all get better now.
I know how much you wanted to be a wife and be a mother, and here you are. I said just be patient and pray about it, and sure enough, you're in the space that you always want to be in, and you're going to grow in that new journey that you're on, the new chapter that you're setting for your life.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know what, Rob, you know how Sean is very spiritual. We've had like 80 hours conversations about where we're going and what direction, and he's always had these vibes for me, so he always knew I was going to be a mother and be pregnant. I think you're psychic, Sean. Yeah. I think you should give up the chiropractic and
psychic Sean instead of Dr. Sean.
Yeah, you should start reading palms and something.
Yeah, we get insights sometimes to things that are in our path that we just know for sure that we're going to cross, and that's something that Sean and I actually have in common, which is one reason that we got along so good when we travel together, because we can vibrate at the same speed. Listen, we're almost out of time. I'm going to go to Rich from New York, even though I'm not sure it's an honest phone call. It might be a prank due to the phone number. But, Rich, it's all up to you now.
Hey, Rob. Hey, Sonia. What's going on, folks? What's going on, Fonzie, Francine, Dr. Sean?
Hey,
pleasure talking to you guys.
It's all you, Daddy. Talk to us.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller. I'm going to try and get to the story quick. I lost my mom to cancer approximately 9 years in February. She actually had cancer of the breast in 1995. She had a mastectomy, and they removed a tumor about the size of a grapefruit. And they also took out her lymph nodes. And, she didn't do any chemo. She didn't do any radiation. She actually ended up going to Dr. Atkins at the time. I went with her, and she did a lot of natural and holistic stuff and put it in remission until 2000. And then, of course, it came back with a vengeance and got her. But definitely I want to say that, it affected me greatly. And, I kind of get a little bummed out seeing, every time October comes around and you see all the pink ribbons because, awareness is great and all, but you should be aware all the time and not just some of the time. And I just really wanted to share it with you guys.
Man, I appreciate you sharing your experience, man. That's the only way that we learn is from experience, our own experience, other people's experience that they're sharing with us. As I've said many times, I sure wish I would have had a few conversations like this. I wish I would have listened to a radio show maybe where they were talking about cancer and how important it is to get checked up, because in the year that it took for us before we finally got the colonoscopy, which discovered Sonia's cancerous tumor, that thing grew. That thing grew. The longer you put shit off, it grows, It grows, and it really couldn't have gotten much more growth and had happy results like we got, so we really pushed it more than I wish we would have. So by you guys sharing your stories, hopefully people will listen and they'll do the right thing.
Early detection is key.
Early detection is key. Yes,
I just wanted to say that the last thing she got to do was, she actually, I'm one of many foster kids that she raised, and the last thing she got to do right before she died was she got to adopt me. So, that was really huge for me, and my two sisters, I ended up becoming their guardian, so they're basically my kids
right,
now.
Daddy.
And
what a story.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you that that cancer shit is hardcore. I'm glad that Rob, Sonia pulled through, man, and it's tough, especially when it's somebody close to you. You watch it take its toll, and you definitely hit the bottom of the barrel and you find out what you're really made of. So I'm glad that she pulled through, man, and you're a tough dude, because it's some hard shit to watch, man. You get my respect.
Yeah, no doubt. Sonia agrees with you 110%. She says, just like you said, man, you find out what you're made of right there. And I'll tell you, Sonia, I knew you were strong, but honestly, I'm impressed with how strong you've been through this whole thing. I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like I didn't know. I thought, oh my God, I understood my position. I'm going to have to be the strong one. I'm going to have to be there for you and not show you when I'm feeling upset, and I can't do that.
I was the one that was there for you.
For real, I was a pussy right from the beginning, guys, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to not show the emotion and act like, no, it's cool, it's only cancer, fuck that, we got this. But really, dude, I was a mess, and if Sonia would not have been so strong, we couldn't have worked off each other like we did and been able to stay balanced, because if you were weak, there was no fucking way that I was going to be the foundation for us.
I just want to say this real quick. Something that helped me is very early on when I got the diagnosis, I had to mentally go into myself and take all the why me's and the pity party and all that kind of stuff, and I visualized putting it in a box and burning that box, because it had no room or place in my life. And once you go down that why me and that pity party, it's hard to come out of. And I just knew, why not me? It happens to thousands of people. I have to get through this. I have to get the word out. That's why it happened to me. And just staying away from the pity party, man, that I think honestly that really helped keep my positive energy up.
Yeah,
but now don't you feel like you can do anything? Like you can conquer anything? Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a lot more reason to do everything too. There's a lot more reason that you have a better understanding of how delicate life is, and so go out there, enjoy it. Listen, man, we're just about out of time. David from California, you want to shout something real quick?
Yeah, I just want to say kudos, SVD. You did it. You did it.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I did.
Well put. And, we know it.
Besides that, I got one quick survivor story. It's not really in relation to cancer, but I thought I'd throw it out there. Yeah, okay. Basically what happened was one time when I was like 8 years old, I was building a ramp for my little brother, and he got too close behind me, and I hit him in the back of the head with the hammer.
Oh, my God, dude. I mean, couldn't you just ask them to stand back a little bit?
No,
I'm
that
just
was
joking.
the thing.
I'm joking, dude. I know you didn't do it on purpose. Wow. Yeah, that could have ended up worse. I know Sonia got hit in the face with a shovel when she was a kid by her brother. Listen, they're about to cut us off, man. Thanks for calling in, Fonzie. Thank you so much, Francine. Thanks for sharing your stories with us, everybody. Nikki, and, of course, Dr. Sean and SVD.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the love, and I appreciate all of it. Thanks for all the prayers. You guys rocked.
Fucking A, man. And next week, same time. And everybody out there, enjoy life.
Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Examinator! 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 Man assassinator! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! A damn shot straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! You get down to straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show!